I'm back. I've been on a hiatus. I haven't been wanting to do anything, and I've had no motivation, but I'm back. So I hope everybody had a good winter, holidays, spent time with family, friends, all that. But I wanted to start this video and say that I was going to do another video today, but there's been something that's been kind of on my mind recently that's been kind of weighing on me and making me just kind of upset. And so I figured, you know what, to get all of that out, I'm just going to make a video on this instead. The other one I was going to do was going to be some new antiques and stuff that I have collected, but I just feel like this was a little bit more important to do a video on. Also, if you can hear any snoring in the background, I'm sorry, that's my cat. He's over there sleeping like he has 5 jobs. So, okay, so if you could tell by the title of this video, we're talking about the rise of AI and unfortunately the near future death of film. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Aislinn, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep, you're getting too far into it, but it is that deep. It is that deep, and I don't know why we seem to not care. Is it because the future we just are willing to accept? Is it because this is imposed on us and we really just don't have a choice and there's nothing else that we can really do about it? I don't know, because it is kind of being forced on us everywhere in every single situation that we're in. So I'm going to start off by defining AI. Obviously, everybody knows what AI is. Artificial intelligence, that's what it stands for, but it's data driven, and it's basically just mimics human intelligence. Takes all of the intelligence of human beings and is able to be used by technology. So I want to ask a question. So look at this beautiful woman. She's awesome, right? She's a beautiful actress. Um, she's new and upcoming, and she looks really cool, right? Well, guess what? She's not real. She's fake. She's a fake actress. She's an AI actress. And I know you're thinking, well, what? Aislinn, what does that mean? A fake actress. It's exactly what it is. She's AI. She's fake. She's not real. She's not a real human flesh being. She is literally a robot, basically, a computer generated woman. And her name is Tilly Norwood. This is her Instagram. You can see through here these photos of her doing things that are not real. She even has her own website. I'm assuming to book her for movies or roles or whatever that their nefarious plans are for her. She has 68.4k followers. That's crazy. Mind you, again, she is not real. She's fake. Okay? I don't know how much emphasis I can put on that. So this is crazy. This is insane. And when I first read an article about her that came out, I remember just kind of being dumbfounded, like it was a prank or a joke, because I just thought it was the craziest, most ridiculous thing ever. And there's always been fake like AI Instagram accounts of people, fake things. It's just become more prevalent now in 2020, 2026 now. What really bugs me about this, and I apologize because it's going to be kind of a longer video, but I have been gone for a while, is imagine all the brilliant humans, all the talented actresses and actors that we'll never see on screen thanks to all of the AI people that are going to be now in the acting industry, and all the computers that are going to be doing a job for them and for us. Tilly Norwood will never be Shelley Duvall. She'll never be Laura Dern. And she's never going to be Audrey Hepburn and so on, of all the other amazing actresses and actors that have graced our screens for years. She has an empty void beneath her eyes. She has an empty feeling and almost, I want to say, like an uncanny expression. There's something about her. You look at her, she doesn't look real. She almost looks too perfect. She almost looks too beautiful. It's almost like nobody could ever compete with her. You get where I'm going here? You get what I'm saying here? Awesome. Perfect. Well, that's what I wanted to do for the intro of this video. Because if that isn't enraging a lot of people or anything, I am worried. I'm worried for people in the film community, and I'm worried for just us as humanity as a whole. Obviously, no, we can't stop AI. It's happening. This is our future, and it's scary, and it is becoming a reality very fast. What I want to go into and next start off this video with is human technology and how long we've been making films. Okay? Early technology. I got my little book here. I've written notes and done some research and stuff. I know, I'm so savvy. So humans have been creating film since we could even grasp our grubby hands on cameras that have been created. And the first film camera was made in 1882 by Etienne Jules Mary. I probably butchered that. It was known as the chronophotographic gun, and it took 12 images per second on a single curved plate. A lot of effort to get, these images and to make a film. And then whereas Thomas Edison, he made the phonograph in 1877, which is different, but that was like magic to people. They didn't that was insane. It was, they might have been like, oh, this is witchcraft or something, because it was a miracle, and it was something that was just profound and amazing. The first film ever made was in 1878, and it was more of a frame clip, and it was using 12 separate cameras to film a man riding a horse. This film was created by Edward Muybridge, and just look at that. That's, all of this effort that it took and all of these amazing inventions that it took to just bring a film to life and to make a film. Other technology, the camera obscura was a Latin term for, I'm pretty sure dark room, or is it light room? I learned a lot of this too when I was in photography in high school. I took a photography class, and, the first early cameras, and this just goes to show humans have been doing this forever. And since it's been created, I can't help but think it's been taken for granted in a way. I would also like to now go into a different point of view of saying, why do we create? We create because we're humans. And we need to express our souls using an outside source. And I honestly think that that's one of the most beautiful things about humanity, is that, if you really think about it, imagine all of the movies that would have never been created if someone didn't fall in love, or if somebody didn't have an excruciating heartbreak or grief, or something that they had to carry with them. The way that humans felt these array of emotions so strong, they had to create a physical entity from it, because they couldn't contain the feeling within themselves. They had to use a way to express it, because it was simply too much to just harbor within them. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things when you really sit and think about it, is that since the dawn of time, we have been creating and expressing ourselves and using our hands and doing anything that we can to try to get across something within us that we don't feel like we could ever explain to somebody unless we put it in an art form. I'd like to touch on something even more sad about, a mention to Rob Reiner, rest in peace, who was recently murdered, him and his wife. Rob Reiner completely changed the ending of Harry and Sally. It would have had a completely different ending and it would be a completely different movie. But all because Rob Reiner fell in love with his wife at the time when he was filming it, he changed the ending completely. Um, we would have an entirely different ending if not for the love that Rob instilled in it, basically. And I mean, if you sit and think about how beautiful that is, that it changed the ending because of how much he loved somebody, how much he needed to express that within his film. He didn't he had to change it completely. Um this is the main issue with the AI argument, is what I want to say, is that I like to show you a crappy compiled video edit of some of my favorite movies that I've made to basically say AI could never recreate this. These are just some movies that have meant a lot to me over the years, that growing up and just watching them. And I'd like to also include the practical effects community within film. Let's not forget that our practical effects artists are so desperately trying to keep it alive as well. I mean, we have amazing movies like E.T., we have Labyrinth, we have, the original Universal Monsters. We have all of these practical effect teams that have spent hours and endless work just to keep art and film alive. And it has the human touch that cannot be replicated anywhere else. Even in CGI, there's still, yes, humans are creating with CGI, but it's still not the same as building sets, building, puppets, building creatures and different things for the films. And I just think that it's really important to keep that alive as well within the AI epidemic that's happening. I hate to say or even think about it in the future, but I don't even like thinking about maybe the next few years of just complete AI movies being made. I see them on Instagram. I see different reels and things made of, like, oh, well, this is how it would look with AI. This is how it would look at this. Don't make the AI, create it yourself. Do it yourself. And I'd like to propose a theory that even, I feel like a lot of people, maybe they aren't as artistic, or they feel like they don't have the creativity within themselves. So what they do is, I think that they almost harbor a jealousy towards artistic people, because they think, well, I can never do that, or I could never, I'm not talented enough. But that's just simply not true. Every single one of us, from the moment that we're born as children, as little kids, we all have that within us. We all have the ability to imagine and to create and to make whatever we want. And so I just feel like it's just a lazy, sloppy way out. And it's never going to compete. And I hope that more people are like waking up and kind of realizing that. I do see a lot of people rejecting AI and not trying to stay far away from it, which I also think is an amazing thing that we're doing. All that I can really say is that, I mean, the more that you're engaging with AI and you're using AI, the more it's just taking over. And I know it's hard because all the spaces, like I said, have already been kind of incorporating it within everything. But that doesn't mean that we have to give up as a community, as human beings. I beg you, I urge you to get physical media. Go to your local libraries, get a library card, rent movies, rent DVDs, rent books, buy movies, buy physical media. The libraries need this engagement just as much. I mean, they're dying. Libraries are dying. Kids aren't reading as much. I'd like to beg to even say adults aren't reading as much anymore, and we're just becoming so boring and very, very uncreative. And it's just really sad to see, and I don't like it, and it makes me really sad. And I think that if a lot of people are kind of trying in their own way to go against it by collecting physical media, by engaging with it, that we can in little ways regain control over it and say, hey, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to engage in that streaming service, or I don't want to watch your movie that you had AI in. And people still are. There's still gonna be people who are like, I don't see the big deal, I don't care. And that's okay. But you can't just sit there and say that nothing is wrong, and that it's okay, and that it's fine to just let art and film die out. I'm not an expert. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few years. I don't know if maybe it won't. And maybe we as a people will say, hey, we've had enough of this. Keep your AI out of our movies. Keep your AI out of our actors and actresses. I have no idea what's going to happen. But it's scary. And as somebody who loves film and has enjoyed film for a majority of like my entire life, and it's been a very big part of who I am, it's scary to see that being taken over by something so soulless and empty. I don't really know how to end this video except maybe saying, well, you know what? Guillermo del Toro says it best.
To extend our gratitude and say, fuck AI.
But, yeah. I don't know. It's really sad and it's scary, but try to save film. Preserve film, save artistry. Please go support your local artists and local filmmakers, and stay expired.